Hi guys, the first thing I'm going to do is make my shortcrust pastry. It's going to be a sweet version, so it's got sugar in it, and I'm making it for the frangipane tart. So you can of course just buy this, but I'm going to make it. In the box below I'm going to put a link to my shortcrust pastry video. I'm using the exact same recipe, but these are the things that you'll need if you are going to make it yourself. You're going to need 8 ounces of flour, 1 ounce of sugar, 4 ounces of butter. This is slightly salted, room temperature, real butter, English butter, some vanilla, an egg yolk and some milk. The milk that you'll need will be dependent on how quickly it comes together. So you might need a lot and you might need a tiny amount. You might need none at all. So that completely depends. So I'm going to put this in the food processor and make it, and I'm going to wrap it up and put it in the fridge because it needs to rest. So I'll do that and I'll come back to you. This is the pastry, just out of the food processor. So I'll just take that bit out. So that's the pastry done. All I'm going to do is knead it into a little ball. And then with just a piece of cling film, I'm going to put it on there and then just flatten it out with my hands. And the reason that I'm doing that is to make it a bit easier to roll in a little bit, and it also chill quicker. And then just fold the cling film over. You want to make sure that it's fully covered. You don't want any bits exposed to the air. And then this is going to go into the fridge for at least 30 minutes, but maybe an hour. It's been about half an hour, 45 minutes, and my pastry is pretty hard. I have anti-backed my surface, dried it off, floured it, and now I'm going to roll out the pastry. Because it's been in the fridge to rest, it is going to be quite a challenge, but that's okay. Just keep moving and rolling until you get the desired thickness. You don't want it to be too thick. I've rolled out my pastry. I'm now going to put it into my tin. This is a loose bottom fluted tin, and it's non-stick and it's clean. So I'm going to put the pastry in, and then I'm going to push it into the sides and slice off the excess. So I'll do that and hopefully you'll be able to follow. Make a little ball. We're going to use that to push the edges in. Don't worry about getting any tears or anything, because you can patch those up. So it's all good. I'm just going to very loosely cut off the bits that are obviously very unnecessary, so that I can neaten up the pastry. So I don't know if you can see this, turn it around for you, but this bit I've managed to get a bit of a hole in. So all you do is push it down together, and the heat of your hands will allow it to come together. So now you can see that bit's gone. So just go around and do that with any small tears and cracks. You don't really want there to be any holes or anything. Okay, so that's it. Now I need to put this in the fridge for about half an hour and we'll move on. To make the rest of the frangipane, you're going to need 100 grams of butter softened. This is slightly salted real butter. You're also going to need 125 grams of sugar. I'm using granulated. 2 eggs beaten free range room temperature. Some vanilla extract if you'd like it. 175 grams of ground almonds and 50 grams of plain flour, which is both in here. I've also got some plums, which I will show you here. I've got about 6 ounces of plums, which I've already chopped up and I just covered in a bit of lemon juice. And I've got 70 grams of frozen fruit, optional. And I also have some flaked almonds, again, optional. Another thing that you could do, which is quite nice, is to toast them a little bit first if you're going to mix it in, but I'm going to sprinkle it on top, so that's all good. You're also going to need some extra sugar to dust all over the top, and you need to preheat your oven to 160 fan, which is 180 regular, and gas mark 4. So the first thing that we're going to do, which is quite normal, is mix our sugar and our butter together. So we'll do that first. So we add our granulated sugar and our butter. You could obviously do this with an electric mixer. My oven is preheating, you can hear it in the background. Just going to add a little bit of vanilla. And I'm also going to add half of my egg. And now I'm going to add the rest of my egg. I'm going to sieve in my flour and my almonds. This is optional, and I really think it depends on the quality of the almonds that you've used and how finely they're milled. I'm using a combination of some that I bought premium at supermarket and also some that I purchased from Lidl. And while I've got absolutely no problems with Lidl, you will find that some of these bits are really quite coarse. So I just wanted to make sure I wasn't getting any husk in there. Not husk, but, you know, outer part. So I really want to avoid that. And then I'll pop the rest in. Just going to fold in the almonds and the flour now. Now that part's done, we're ready to get the pastry out of the fridge. All you need to do is push down and smooth out a little bit the mixture. Right, so that is pretty much smooth. I've got my plums here. Now, you can take the time to decorate it in a sort of pretty way. If you don't want to, just drop them on there. Not a problem. So that's most of the plums, and now I'm just going to sprinkle over my frozen fruit. Make sure that you push them down a bit once you've put them in, wherever you feel like. Now the fruit's all on there, I can add my almonds. These are optional. And I'm also going to sprinkle some sugar over the top. Just a little bit. Okay, this needs to now go into the oven. It's preheated to 160 because I've got a fan oven, and it needs about 45 minutes. Make sure that you check it though from about 35, because sometimes ovens run a bit hot and it can brown really quickly, and if it does start to brown before you think it's cooked, then you can put a little tent over it of foil, and that's going to stop it from browning so quickly while you leave it in the oven. This cake is amazing, definitely worth the effort, so please give it a go. Please also like and subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.